The crazy thing about this, guys, is she may have left for the money, but you need to understand NCSoft is directly competing with BDO. They picked JJ because she knows the inner workings of the company and how they can be exploited, how they can be beaten. Okay. And in this case, all she's got to do, guys, is be like, yeah, they don't listen to their Western audience at all. It dramatically influences the player base and people get really upset about it. Okay, well, we'll just do that. That's all the conversation has to be had. That's it, right? It's like, hey, what problems does Perlibus have? Well, they kind of just turn their ears off when Europe talks or when North America talks. Okay, well, we won't do that, especially if they're literally responsible for 60% of our income. All right, so this is the NA CEO designs and moves to Throne and Liberty.
Hello, today we're going to go over the Perlibis CEO for North America, and they are resigning. Well, they have already resigned from Perlibis, and they plan to go ahead and take the helm of NCSoft's The Throne and Liberty, which is not something.
This is Squidius? I'm fairly certain this is Squidius. I don't know. They refer to people as Squidius. I'm not very familiar with the console community, right? His name is Sword Kings on YouTube. That's how I know him. That's how I know him. So I know him as Sword King. And I watch his shit because his shit is really good.
Something that I thought was going to happen, but here we are. This is originally where the information came from. Guido had sent this to me in a DM, and I was completely confused. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, guys, if you don't know, the CEO of Perlibis America, JJ, someone I've met many times. I feel like I have a pretty good standing relationship with JJ. She's fantastic. I made a video about it. Yes, she left Perlibis America. Understand, remember the NA CMGM team that you guys love so much? It's super good. She built it. Okay, she was the first employee for North America, okay, for Perlibis. All right? And she left. And she went to the direct competitor. She went to NCSoft for the release of Throne and Liberty to be their new North American CEO. NCSoft definitely offered her more money. It is a far, far bigger company. No question. I guarantee you. However, I think it's just a W move for NCSoft. I'll be honest. JJ was a large part of the reason that, like, the North American CMGM team is awesome. I don't have any complaints. But again, she was the leader of that team. If she does the same thing, but for TNL, it will be a huge boon for the company, right? Imagine her putting together like a CMGM team that like interacts with the players in Throne and Liberty. People love that shit. That's what keeps us at bay from constantly cussing Perlibis out, from constantly just literally rioting in the streets, is the CMGM team. Like, crazy that she would go to the direct competitor, though. Actually, just nuts.
Didn't expect that, so I decided to go ahead and hop on over here and peep the article and then give my thoughts and opinions, and then just sort of kind of ended off there. So as we can see, former Perlibis America CEO takes the helm of NCSoft America. Last week we reported on Perlibis American CEO Jong-hee JJ Jin announcing the end of her tenure after 6 years for a new career challenge. We know just where she ended up, right at the top.
I love it. A new career challenge. Yep. It's the exact same position with more money. Very challenging.
NCSoft America. That already is crazy in itself, to be honest with you, but continue reading. Jin will now be the CEO of the American branch of the publisher and developer and will spearhead any effort by NCSoft to enhance its global competitiveness and accelerate the regional expansion strategy by leveraging CEO Jin's deep understanding and extensive experience and strong network in the Western game market.
She does have a really strong network in the Western game market. And to be clear, I love this. I love this. Okay. As a content creator, as Blue Squadron, as someone that has met JJ and shook her hand. Okay. I know I have a good standing relationship with JJ. Okay. And now she's working for the next MMO. Then I'm going to go play. This is a win. This is an objective. God, who are we going to sponsor? Hey, how you doing? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it is an objective win.
about that is JJ is a very passionate person. I met her at the Calpheon ball, and she was actually the one that was the most communicative.
Dude, JJ, whenever JJ used to talk to me, I said this in the other video too. She always did genuinely seem concerned when I brought her issues. She would be like, what do you think that the community is struggling with right now? And I would be like, this, and this. Like, oh my God, okay, so what are they struggling with about that? It's like, I understand that nothing came of that, but it's important to me that like she felt sincere about being like, okay, yeah, you're having a problem. Okay, let's listen to that problem. She'd be an excellent therapist, if I'm being honest. Like, I felt better about the game literally not changing at all, having expressed that to her. Nothing's gonna happen, but like, I felt better. You know what I mean? Like, she's good at her job.
For pretty much all the partners for the NA side of things. If you guys are familiar, Leo Storm, aka J-Ray, he used to be a partner, and he came to the Calpheon ball too.
Yeah, and so the question on everyone's mind is exactly what was just asked in chat. She may have left for her frustrations of her hands being tied in matters like that. Yeah, because like the West would complain, right? And for those of you that don't know, anyone that's not Korea is considered the West, but in this case, I'm referring to North America. North America would complain. That feedback would get pushed through and nothing would happen. They just don't want to listen, right? So like, she could have left. We don't know. She could have left because of that frustration. Going to the direct competitor certainly is a statement, right? She obviously tried to leave on as good a terms as possible, but that's definitely a statement to be making, you know? Like,
and he actually had a...
And if that is the reason, that I'll take it a step further. If that's the reason she did leave, was that exact frustration, that would imply that in Throne and Liberty, it's different. That they promised her that it would be different. Right? Let's be honest, it was probably the money, but we can dream.
One-on-one meeting with her, and it was actually really positive. He got a lot of information, and she was very vocal and upfront and honest about the, you know, situation with console. She knew it was tough for us. She knew it was...
Bro, she's a businesswoman. I give her massive props for even making this decision. I give her, bro, that woman is standing on business, bro. What a unit. That is the kind of female leader that I like to see. You know what I mean? What a legend.
A big issue, and honestly, her hands were tied by a myriad of other things, which is, again, that just goes back to Korea realistically on the reasons why things...
BDO going to be better now that she's gone. I can't imagine it's going to get any better or worse, in my opinion. Based on how much power the North American office actually has to influence change on the Korean office of Black Desert Online, it really wouldn't matter if they put the Pope in charge. They're not going to listen to him. They don't care. All JJ could do was try to stem the bleeding. And I think she did a pretty good job.
The way that they are, which sucks, but I think that also probably
she's kind of hot too, bro. You need Jesus.
To her being the reason why she left the company. I can't really, you know, for sure say or speak on it, but just from the conversation that J-Ray had, where she was basically saying, yeah, console had to be put on the back burner of the operations of all of 2023 or 2022. I forgot what year she said or what the time frame was, but it was a while ago. And yeah, she just openly admitted to Leo Storm that literally console was on the back burner. Like, she just straight up said that, which some people might be mad that she said that, but you got...
Some people might be mad. The console Discord almost burned to the ground when she said that. I remember when she said, yeah, so console's kind of on the back burner. Really what she meant was, we're waiting on Sony because they're losers. Okay, but she can't say that. All right. But like, Pluribus has had these changes ready for console for years. And like Xbox, Microsoft, not a problem. Sony, literal degenerate losers. Okay, can't push anything through Sony. So she said, yeah, console's kind of on the back burner until, you know, basically she's implying that Sony, you know, we're waiting for Sony to approve stuff. And the community went apeshit.
You gotta think about it from the perspective of that she was willing to say that. She was willing to be honest and communicative to just a partner. And at the time, I don't actually think J-Ray was a partner at that time. I think he was a +1 to one of the other partners, but I could be wrong about that, so don't quote me there. But just the idea of her being that honest and upfront was really, really cool. And
she was super honest with me every time I would ask her a question. And guys, believe me, I asked her some hard questions. She just gave it to me straight, bro.
I honestly appreciated that more than anything else. And the fact that she is basically the one that gave us all of the NA events. If you guys didn't know, each region has their own like branch leader, for example. So
I don't know if I would give her that much credit. She obviously had a hand in making a lot of events, but I would not count out. I'm not exactly how sure the inner workings of the company, but I absolutely know that the CMGM team and the team leads come up with event ideas as well. It's not all JJ making all of the events. That's not what's happening. But like, I'm sure she definitely had a hand in it.
So North America's events are strictly for North America, and the EU events are strictly for EU, and so on and so forth for every other region, right? So North America essentially was the most spoiled region when it came to events. We genuinely got a lot of really dope events. Even for console too. It was really, really good. And she was.
I would not say that we are more spoiled than the other regions. I think that that's a little bit out of touch. I think that unless you were literally directly, see, I compare what we get to the other regions every week because see, I know what every single region is basically getting every week because I'm dialed in to every one of the PC scenes. He's on console, which in fairness, it might be different for console, but I'm going to tell you right now, the reason North America is spoiled is because the CMGM team actually interacts with its streamers, actually interacts with its community by giving us buffs and stuff, and actually does a lot of like GM events. I think probably more than the other regions. But spoiled in that regard. But in terms of like overall like game events, I don't know about that one.
Is the reason behind that. And now that she's
like, we don't have a best in class tournament right now, but Asia does. Oh, we're celebrating the 2-year anniversary of the merge. You, bro. You can't give one region. You can't give one region the best in class tournament, and then all the other regions are like, what the hell? Like, we all want it too. We've been waiting for it for 5 years.
No longer here. It could be potentially a big issue that like we get somebody else that is not as.
What if Onlave and the other GMs get posted to NCSoft? Onlave is an EU GM. It's very, or CM. It's very important that you understand that. NA and EU are different. You're talking about Corruption, Etsu, Poly, and the rest of the who make a lulz that work in the office. I'm just kidding, guys. I love all of you. I'm just totally joking. CM, Dennis, everybody. I love you guys. You guys are fantastic. But like, she could very well poach some of the team members with her, right? She would have to offer more money, which I'll be honest with you, is really easy to do. We're talking about NCSoft. How much is NCSoft worth right now? $2.74 billion. We gave it, we barely meet that in Korean won, guys. We're not even, what is this in real dollars? Where is this in real dollars? God damn it. Why would you give it to me in Korean won? Okay. Pluribus, 2 billion. Market cap, 2 billion. Okay. But NCSoft is backed by BlackRock, isn't it? Is it NCSoft is absolutely backed by BlackRock, I'm pretty sure. NC West. Tencent, yeah, which is BlackRock. They're backed by Tencent. Yeah, like they have way more money. They have way more money. KRW in US dollars. Yeah, 2.1 billion. So actually a lot closer than I thought. But the difference is Pluribus, I'm fairly certain it's not owned by Tencent or any of the other bigger companies. So like, needless to say, I think she's got a lot more money to throw around. She could theoretically poach people from her guild, or from her team. Just offer them more money. It's really simple. If you guys think that the community managers are making a lot of money, you're crazy. I know how much their salary is because I applied for the job. It's like $50,000 and they're living in the middle of Los Angeles. Okay. was right around the starting salary that they were getting ready to offer me a few years ago when I applied. Okay. Like, give me a break. Like in LA, that's almost homeless. All right. You ain't making shit. You aren't making shit. Like, she could offer them $20,000 more a piece. I bet they take it, bro.
Passionate, that doesn't care as much, or is not as, you know,
that is
giving
homeless.
and communicative as JJ. Which I gotta be honest, seeing her go to Throne and Liberty gives me a lot of hope, because she's like super communicative and passionate about her job. And the fact of the matter is, if she's over there, that tells me that events and other things over there are gonna be popping. They're gonna actually be really good.
I think that the Western launch of Throne and Liberty will be objectively considerably better because JJ is running the show.
Be probably
like, that's just how it is. He's right.
Be well taken care of the North American side of things. So I'm hoping that Throne and Liberty is going to be cool. I know a lot of people keep memeing about the combat in Throne and Liberty, but it's just like, dude, what do you want?
It's not as good as BDO.
With the world's shittiest PvP systems. Like, let it go.
Holy true. Holy God, you gotta listen to that one more time. I won't interrupt him this time.
But it's just like, dude, what do you want? You're gonna keep playing BDO with the world's shittiest PvP systems? Like, let it go. You guys are glazing BDO so hard over the combat, and it hurts
because BDO is a better game. BDO has way better combat, right? It's not even close. The problem is the systems in the game suck right now. Our PvP systems suck, right? Throne and Liberty is the opposite. Their systems are way better, but their PvP, like, combat itself is just not as good. So, like, we're hoping that that's enough, right?
It's like the combat is okay. It is great. Like, there's
BDO has better potential. Better game is arguable. No, they have better systems as a game as a whole. I'm pretty confident. Although I will play Throne and Liberty when it comes out. I'm gonna be all over it. I'm gonna be all over TNL when it comes out. And I'll get to see for myself.
Nothing better than BDO, but they have the worst PvP systems in existence, and they have the absolute, like, least amount of care, in my personal opinion, when it comes to just paying attention to the player base. That's especially the West.
I was gonna say the Western player base, they don't give a if the Koreans shit in the wrong toilet, they're aware of it. All right, like that's just how it is. The Korean opens their mouth, they care.
Audience, they'll pay attention to Korea all day, but when it comes to the American side of things and just the Western audience, they tend to sort of ignore us, and we have to go through super insane channels just to even get heard. Dude,
I have to put together a United Nations podcast of I have to bring in translators and content creators from around the world to even get them to watch shit. Like, that's how hard it is for the West to get noticed about anything. And you know the reason, you know the brutal truth, the reason that they watch that UN podcast has nothing to do with me or EU or Asia that is represented there. They're willing to watch it because the Koreans are represented there too. That's the brutal truth. That I could run the UN podcast, and if I didn't bring the Koreans with us, they still wouldn't give a shit.
Usually involves us having to do some sort of Korean translation and feedback, which is not really that.
Yeah, I'll play the early access. Yeah.
I wouldn't even say that's fair, but you know, we got to do what we got to do. So we'll go ahead and continue reading here. JJ,
isn't it because the devs only understand Korean? That's not true at all. I heard it from their mouths. They watch a lot of my content. They just don't do anything about it. It's really obvious. I asked them at the ball. Jay knew exactly who the I was, and he was not super happy to be standing right next to me. I talked to a lot of executives at the ball. All of them were like, yeah, we've seen your videos. Yeah, you're good. Like, yeah, okay, there we go. Like they watch the videos. They just choose not to do anything because we're not Korean. They're hearing it, guys. They don't care. I guarantee you Jay is not a fan of me because I'm the super loud American. And I can poke him.
Provided more context in a LinkedIn post, which I'll go over in a second here, explaining.
The developers care very deeply about our game, guys. Jay cares very deeply about our game. They get really upset when people, like, they do not like bad press. They don't like it at all. They're deathly afraid of bad press. So much so that they were willing to ban one of their Korean streamers who had streamed the game since the beginning, their top Korean streamer in the category. They just removed him from the game for doing nothing wrong because the community advocated for it. They don't want bad press. Just like when they banned the second Korean streamer too, because the community reported him. They did not even do an investigation. They just banned him. Then I did a react to that Korea guy's post, and he was like, look, I didn't actually exploit. Here's the proof right here. Right? I did a react to that post, sent it over to Asmin. Asmin picked it up, and the moment that Asmin picked it up, they were like, they put out a press release and they unbanned him. They apologized and they unbanned him. They don't like bad press. At all. Do not like. Like, extremely sensitive.
Move from pro.
Damn, Asmin's got that pull when millions of people are seeing your game look like clowns. Yeah, he's got that pull.
To NCSoft was driven by her belief that the company is in a strong position for growth and that she's capable of leading it to that end in the Western market. I'll officially start my
no, that's not what happened. The court reached out to PA, and that's why you got unbanned, confirmed by the streamer. You're thinking of two different streamers. There's two different, but I'm not getting into that right now.
new job later this month, still recovering from all the emotions about leaving my team at Pearl Abyss America and getting ready for the new journey. Exciting times, as she writes. And then we'll go over here, check her LinkedIn post, and yeah, it's pretty much just her saying that, you know, it is what it is. Oh, actually, wait a minute. This is not her other LinkedIn post. This is a new one. Hold on. Wait a minute. News about my new adventure has been released now, so I'm also sharing it with you a little earlier than I originally planned. Thanks for all the congratulations, cheers, and wishes for my new journey. It means a lot to me. I'll join NCSoft as the new CEO of North America, or of NC America. A friend of mine asked me why I chose NCSoft. My shortened answer is 1, I believe NCSoft has huge potential growth in the Western market, and 2, I believe there's a lot I can do / try for the company's growth in the Western / global market. I'm also excited about working.
Bro, she has to know. The crazy thing about this, guys, is she may have left for the money, but you need to understand NCSoft is directly competing with BDO. They picked JJ because she knows the inner workings of the company and how they can be exploited, how they can be beaten. Okay. And in this case, all she's got to do, guys, is be like, yeah, they don't listen to their Western audience at all. It dramatically influences the player base and people get really upset about it. Okay, well, we'll just do that. That's all the conversation has to be had. That's it, right? It's like, hey, what problems does Pearl Abyss have? Well, they kind of just turn their ears off when Europe talks or when North America talks. Okay, well, we won't do that, especially if they're literally responsible for 60% of our income.
With such a great team who has led and defined the Korean video game industry as one of the first generations.
That could be an NDA thing. No. Again, they hired her for a reason, guys. They need her expertise, but they also know she knows where Pearl Abyss's weaknesses are. She knows what the weaknesses is, and we all know what it is, but NCSoft is not familiar, right? They don't know what's going on in BDO. They have no idea. They just want to get our player. They just want to get the players. That's how this works. These are businesses competing. This is very different, okay? They want the players, and they'll go after the players however they have to. If it's, okay, yeah, the developers are going to duress, like, bro, they could bring a translator in. Imagine this, a dev talk with a translator. They're listening to Korea, and they're taking questions from North America and Europe, and SEA, and NSA, and console, God forbid, right? Not just Korea. Boom. Instantly, they take that win. They take that win so fast. Like, I would be so happy, dude. That would be like absolutely nuts. And all JJ's got to do is be like, yeah, we should just do more of this. It's not an NDA thing. There are things that she probably can't say with NDA, but like, she's the one in charge. She doesn't have to say anything. She can just like make the system better. Like,
video game companies in Korea.
Do we not talk about BDO Mobile? It's kind of a different game. I love BDO Mobile. I actually played it on my iPad. It's actually really fun. It's a really, really good game. Sadly, no one likes to watch BDO Mobile, so
yeah, which is pretty cool. I'll officially start my new job later this month, still recovering from all the emotions, etc., etc. And yeah, we just pretty much what we read. So yeah, that is really interesting. I'm honestly kind of hyped for Throne of Liberty now, knowing that like JJ is incredibly passionate about her job. So hopefully everything goes smoothly and the transition goes really well. But we'll see what happens when Throne of Liberty drops. And yeah, I'll definitely be checking that out for sure, because let's be honest, like BDO is not gonna make it. The console BDO,
BDO will make it. I am confident that BDO will be fine post Throne and Liberty release. How they compete with each other over the next 2 years will be very interesting. BDO is going to be fine. Console BDO has always been struggling. They're hanging by a thread. They always have been.
We are not making it to 2025, and if we do,
Crimson Desert's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah,
bro, I don't know that anything's gonna save it. Mountain of Eternal Winter just dropped, and basically it's dead content already. Nobody's doing it. Nobody cares. Questing is over. No new players are coming in, and yeah, no guilds are still fighting in Node.
bro. Console waited like 3 years to get Mountain of Eternal Winter, only to realize that it's all DOA. The sad part is he's not wrong. Think about Mountain of Eternal Winter. It's my favorite region that they have done nothing with. Think about Mountain of Eternal Winter, guys. What grind zones are there in Mountain of Eternal Winter? You have Winter Tree Fossils, garbage. You have Mirawak's Labyrinth, garbage. You have Jade Starlight Forest, barely passable. Only doable content, okay? Everything else involved in this region, aside from Snowfield Cedar Sap and the Destruction Elixir, is irrelevant. And you don't even need to go here anymore because you can just buy your flame off the market. Done. Okay? That's the problem with Mountain. They never updated any of this stuff. It's all just completely outdated. It has the best soundtrack. I love the soundtrack in Mountain of Eternal Winter. It's got great theming. It's a lot of fun to run around in. It's got a very different feel than the other regions. I personally love it. A lot of people are very critical of how Ailton is designed. I kind of like how it is. I think it makes it more realistic to me. But like they just completely botched. Like they just haven't done anything with it. Like there's this giant mountain over here. We just got, it's Aetheria's Limbo. Nobody cares. You teleport to it. You don't even have to run over there. Crazy, bro.
Wars, you got, you know, top 3 guilds going down to T1s and beating up baby guilds with no shame in mind. You got
you guys too? Same. Wait. PC and console are the same in this regard.
you know, other guilds just not even paying attention at all, and they're just AFK. Like, it doesn't even. It's over, boys. It's over. I don't know what else I can do. I'm still making content for BDO, but I really don't know how much longer I can do that for. It's not really sustainable.
Does Throne and Liberty have crossplay for console too? Do the console players play with everybody else? Is everyone playing together? Yes, it is. Oh, God. Okay, well, he might be right. He might be right for console. I'll be honest with you. The entire console community is going to come to Throne and Liberty. No wonder they're on the cope. They need this to be successful. They have to. Console. I felt bad for console for a long time. I've almost bought an Xbox because I want to help them. I can make a lot of really cool content for them. The problem is the community is just deadage. It's really hard for me to convince myself to spend thousands of dollars organizing a tournament for console when there's no community to participate in it. Like, it would just be rough on me. You know what I mean? So the only thing I can do is like an Iron Man series, but for console. Everybody wants to see me do an Iron Man anyway. Might as well do it on console, right? 2 birds, 1 stone. That's the only thing that I've kind of come up with is like a reasonable like console thing. But I'll be honest with you, console players will absolutely jump at the chance to play with PC players for Throne and Liberty. It's not even a question. Like there won't even be that much of a gap in my opinion because the PvP is just a lot more dumbed down.
It's not really something that's meant for growth either. The game is just not built for growing.
Console's dead in Throne and Liberty. You don't understand the state of console and BDO, bro.
On a social media
it just doesn't matter.
Platform, honestly. And until Pearl Abyss can somehow find a way to address those issues, if you are a streamer / just content creator, you are honestly wasting a lot of time with BDO. I mean, you can look at a lot of the content creators for BDO and they are really struggling to figure out what they can do on this game that hasn't already been done.
All right, I'm going to reveal a little something about how I do my data analysis. Okay. You guys can't tell anybody, okay? These are top secret Twitch strats. All right. In order to analyze how a game is doing from a content creator standpoint, you need what a lot of scientists would call a control group. Okay. You need to perform an experiment, and you need experimental groups to compare to a control group. Okay. In this case, when you want to look at how a category is doing and how many people are watching the category and how many people are interested in watching content for that game, you need a content creator to look at who never does anything different, who is super brand safe, very chill, never runs any events. Okay. Who is that for BDO? That's right. That's right. I love Choice. Choice is my control group. Choice is absolutely my control group every time I want to see, because Choice always does the same thing every day, right? So if there's a change in Choice's viewership, it is not because he is doing something different. It's because the game is doing better. Any dramatic shift in Choice's viewership is a direct result in the game state of Black Desert Online as a whole. Okay? Like, this is as close as we can get it. All right? Like, this is how it works, because he only streams in one category too. Scroll down and you look at Choice's performance. This is Land of the Morning Light right here, right? Land of the Morning Light was a big explosive moment for everyone in BDO, right? 2,247 average viewers, like absolutely massive. Okay, you look where Choice is today, 839, down from 1,063 last month and 1,100 from the month before. So you can see Squidius is not wrong. If Choice is struggling, everyone is struggling. He's the control group. The game is hurting. Less people want to view content for the game, and that's not because the content creators suck, okay? It's because the game sucks, all right? Like, the content creators are just as great as they were before. It's just because the game is doing poorer, right? When he plays racing games, not really, okay? So, like, Choice is a great... You never want to use someone that does a lot of events as your control group, because then their viewership, like, fluctuates based on other factors that aren't the game situation. But even if you look at my numbers, I bet you see it declining, right? I stream in multiple categories, all right? So I stream in Wuthering Waves, I stream in Just Chatting, I stream in Naraka Blade Point, I stream in all kinds of different categories. So I'm not a good control, but overall it should be down, right? Yep, down. I'm experiencing the same trend, and I run events, I go to other categories, I do other things, right? I'm not necessarily just BDO anymore. And I'm down too, because my core viewership is BDO, and BDO's hurting. Okay, he's not wrong. Okay, but like, I'm not going to explain too much more about it, but that's part of how I look at analytics for the category as a whole. He's absolutely spitting facts, and you're on copium if you think he's not.
You can't really do PvP stuff because it doesn't really exist anymore. It's very difficult to get into PvP now. It's just such a mind-numbing experience. It's not really very fun.
Actually, I think it's really easy to get into PvP. It's almost too easy. That's the problem. It's just you're fighting players that are just impossible.
And the systems in place don't support it very well. You could make PvE content all day till your eyes bleed, but at the end of the day, you're just running circles for different sets of money, and you can talk about it and whatever you want. No matter how you slice that content, you're still running circles for about an hour. Nothing really super lucrative. And you could make content on life skilling and things like that, but even then, you have to think about it from the perspective of, if you do that, then you
there is an aspect of this, and I've told the console creators this before, where as a content creator, you're a creator. They call us creators for a reason. You have to be creative. Okay, so like, there's an element of this. It's just like, okay, well, half of this is, yes, the game is actually in decline. He's spitting facts. The other half is a failure to realize what is possible, right? Like, you need to be able to think outside the box and do content that other people haven't thought of. It's a sandbox MMO. There's plenty of opportunities for content, okay? I grew in this category doing things that other people would never have even dreamed of. Like, trying to get big as a VOD review streamer. What are you, crazy? Right? But I did it in a super entertaining way, and I found a way to make it super fun for everybody. Like, so there is an element of that, but he's generally right. Like, the category is suffering, right?
Up the market, because if you create life skilling content and then you like give out secrets and trade ideas, then everybody jumps on that hype, and then your market gets, and now you got to find a new one. And then if you make content on that, you know,
people do that to me all the time. I make the life skilling videos, and half of the comments on the life skilling videos are like, oh my God, thank you so much. I can finally do horse training now. Okay. And the other half of the comments are, stop giving away our fucking secrets. Stop telling them what to do. So yeah, I would say that is about right.
Repeat the strategy. It just doesn't. It's not very good. It's difficult to do that. So yeah, I don't know. Like Pearl Abyss has got a big problem when it comes to just managing their game. And now I don't even know that I have confidence that they're going to be able to do that, especially now with JJ gone. And she was really NA's only real hope. And I mean, for other regions,
nah, bro. JJ leaving has very little to do with what's going to happen to Pearl Abyss. I don't think almost anything is going to change for us. Let's be honest. They put a Korean exec in charge. What changes, guys? Literally nothing. It's not like they're going to listen any more to us because JJ's gone. They can't listen any less to us. Okay, so like nothing really changes for us. Okay, what we're looking at is Throne and Liberty improving based on JJ being there, and them potentially listening to JJ because she's the expert on their competitor.
I'm not even sure that how that's even functioning at the moment. If any EU players are over, you know, in the comment section, let me know. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
JJ is gone. Creator program folds in 6 months. X to doubt. X to doubt. The creator program in Korea, gone. But see, most creators are from NAEU, with the majority of them centered in NA. And that's pretty standard for pretty much pretty globally. There's a lot more North American content creators, right? EU content creators. So like, it's more important to the West to focus on that stuff. I don't think that they will get rid of the creator program. They technically could, because there's 2 creator programs for BDO. There's the partner program and there's the creator program. This is for creators that have like 10 average viewers or like 500 YouTube subscribers or whatever. Much smaller content creators. The company tries to help you get up and on your feet. They support your events, stuff like this. Very, very healthy for the scene. This is for the bigger content creators supporting the bigger events. Okay. You're right. They could get rid of this. That would be a mistake. That would be a serious mistake. They could get rid of this too. That would be an even bigger mistake. That would be dumb. They need content creators. You go, oh, game's always got to have content creators. Always. Game doesn't have content creators. You have a lot less people playing the game. A lot, especially with a game like Black Desert. Good luck finding up-to-date guides if you have no content creators. Good luck learning the systems of the game. Right? The creators are how your game is presented to the world in a lot of cases. Like, they don't have a tremendous amount of influence, but they definitely matter. They definitely matter. This is the video here, guys. You guys need to go look at this, view it, give it an upvote. Good video. I like the way he addressed it. I like his takes on things. It also brought us up to date on the JJ. I didn't get to see her LinkedIn post. That's actually pretty cool. Go interact with it. Absolutely. Go subscribe to him.